Sonic Colors is the best Sonic game ever made. Period. There's no qualifications on that statement. It's not the best 3D Sonic game, it's not the best modern Sonic game. It's the best Sonic game. When are they gonna get the team who does those CG intro movies to just make a Sonic movie? God damn, that always looks so good. Remember this title screen, it will be important. Go ahead and start a new game.
Sonic, do you read me? I'll be your... Hello, Sonic, do you read me? I'll be your navigator. Everything but the running to me.
Everything but the running to me. So yes, we're gonna have that one on. And boom, new game, immediately start off with gameplay. That's how you know. That's how you know we're in for it.
Even just a single ring is enough to keep you safe when you take damage.
I am possibly annoyingly going to be hitting all of these tutorial prompts.
Those are white wisps. They give you boost energy. Rescue them to fill up your boost gauge.
Because the tutorial person in this game is fucking Tails, and obviously I want to get as much Tails as we possibly can in this game. Ah, listen to that music.
Tap the jump button for a short jump.
Oh, you guys are gonna get so annoyed by how often I'm gonna be hitting these tutorial prompts.
Press and hold the jump button longer for a spin attack. That'll take you higher than a regular old jump.
But I ain't even gonna apologize for it.
You see a lock-on cursor appear in mid-jump. Hit the jump button again for a homing attack.
Because Tails is my favorite character, so guess what? I'm getting as much Tails as you possibly can.
Use the boost button for a boost. The gauge at the lower left has to have energy to use it, though.
How thrilling.
You can get across here using the homing attack. Once you see the lock-on cursor, hit the jump button.
Oh man. It's hard to explain in a way just from what you're watching on the video, but it just controls so fucking good. Like, that's what becomes frustrating about talking about these games in terms of their gameplay, is it's really difficult to explain how the controls feel in your hand when you're playing it without, like, handing you the controller so you can see for yourself, you know?
Hit on rails to grind. Move left or right while grinding to switch rails.
That's one of the things about games that's kind of impossible to translate in a platonic way, just from describing it. It's one of those things where you have to experience it yourself to really get it, the full picture. It's a tactile experience. But even just from watching, I think you can get a comprehension for the aesthetics of the game, like the flow around it. Like, what's the right word for that? The context around the game, just it feels so vibrant and energetic and colorful. Like, there's a lot more that goes into making a game feel good to play than just the controls. Obviously, that's sort of the most important thing, but there's a lot more that goes into it than just that. I remember an article from someone who is making, like, a little 2D Metroidvania kind of game, where he described, like, the character uses a shotgun as their weapon, and the game, like, it's a little indie game that he was making with just a little, like, one of those make-your-own-game programs you can find just on a casual Google search. Probably the paid version, though. But he talked about how, like, the just regular default, okay, the program is going to make a shotgun effect for you, wasn't good enough. Like, it didn't have a good texture to it that made it feel good to shoot a goddamn shotgun. So he listed all the extra things he had to do and add on to the simple animation of shooting a shotgun to make it feel good to play, like adding a little bit of recoil that knocks the character back.
Press the jump button again when you're in the air, then you'll do a double jump.
Double jumps! You needed to add, like, a shell casing sprite flying off of the character sprite. You needed to do all this extra shit on top of, like, it was the same thing of shooting a shotgun, but to make it, like, really pack a punch, really have some oomph to it, you had to do all this extra stuff on top of the basic control of pressing the button, shooting the shotgun, to just add that much more catharsis to the act of that simple prompt, of that simple control. It's that red dream. And that's what I feel like this game really manages to accomplish that, and it's immediately apparent right from the first level. Like, Sonic Unleashed obviously had really good controls that needed some fine-tuning a little bit. Like, I still don't get why the homing attack was on the same button as the boost button. But, like, it felt really basic, and it needed some extra polish, and Sonic Colors goes the extra mile to really refine it and add so much more flourish around it. Just from this first level, you can kind of tell, like, it feels so vibrant and energetic and colorful just playing the game.
Welcome to Eggman's incredible interstellar amusement park, where you can enjoy...
Once again, what is it with Eggman and amusement parks? I don't get it.
He loves to hear his own lips flap, but I gotta hand it to the Eggster. This place is epic. Everyone and their brother is gonna want to come here.
No doubt, but now I'm not sure why we're here. This place looks totally harmless.
Because Eggman plus secretly built amusement park equals evil plot for us to foil. Lucky for us, he's not very good at keeping things
After
hidden.
20 years, you start to
It would be pretty hard.
you start to pick up on the pattern recognition.
Amusement park surrounded by planets. Still, an evil plot? I don't know.
Wow! Plot or not, you can't be mad at this view. This place has taken beauty to the next level. I'm just surprised that it was so easy to...
How often have they ended up going to space, by the way? If you actually listed all of the Sonic games that ended with you going to space, it would be at least half. Like, either by the end of the game, or even at the beginning of the game. Sonic goes to space pretty fucking often.
I can't believe somebody was dumb enough to leave the keys in this thing. It's like Eggman's begging us to sneak in and trash the place.
Oh man, this thing's got crazy fast acceleration.
You call this fast?
This amusement park has been
Space elevators are awesome. Tangential, unrelated point, space elevators. Thumbs up.
with any sort of evil plot or premeditated misdeeds.
Well, that's a relief.
about it makes my head feel like it wants to. Huh?
So there's a lot of specific moments that you can pick out that I can point to and go like, yep, that's Sonic. That's Sonic the Hedgehog in a nutshell right there for in terms of his character. This is one of them, I feel like.
I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm sure of what I'm gonna do.
That's Sonic to me. I'm sorry, but that's Sonic the Hedgehog in a nutshell right there.
Hey, what's going on?
It's not quite on the level of, like, what you see is what you get, just a guy who loves adventure, but that's still pretty emblematic of Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna jump in and, like, take care of the situation here. Yeah, whatever.
Next up.
There's our level select screen. So a lot of stuff happened in there that I wanted to talk about. First and most prominently to me is the new voice actors. We've got some new voice actors in this series. This was a big deal at the time. The contract with...
Now you're in quick step mode. Move left and right to dodge obstacles.
The contract with 4Kids had finally expired, so Sonic Team got a whole slew of new voice actors to come in and start doing the voices for the characters. And the situation with the voice actors and Sonic has always been... Oh, it's okay. Got a red ring. Just missed it. I want to get that tutorial prompt. Oh well.
Hit the crouch button. It's perfect for getting
I want to get as much Tails as I can. Because the new voice actor for Tails is actually a good voice actor for the first time ever. Like, at last. The situation of voice acting in Sonic has always been really weird and confusing, and it's been a uniquely the West-only problem, because in Japan, it's just been the same voice actors from the beginning all the time. Like, Japan has a unique kind of culture with the voice acting where when you get an actor to voice a character, that actor just does that character from now on. Like, that actor is the voice of that character, and whenever you want to have that character in something, you gotta get that actor to come in and do it. There are some exceptions, obviously, that's not a 100% of the time thing, but almost every single time. So, in Japan, the guy voicing Sonic is the same guy that they've had voicing Sonic since the Sonic Adventure games. But here in the West, here in America, in the English-speaking countries, it's been a little bit more turbulent. Like, the Dreamcast had its own cast of Sonic voice actors. And there was confusion about, like, the 4Kids voice actors, like, redubbing the adventure games for some reason that I was still never really able to figure out what the deal with that was. There we go. And then Sonic Heroes, and, like, Tails in particular has always had this weird problem where he's just been voiced by this flux cycle of like 20 different prepubescent boys or something, and it's just always been super weird. And then after Sonic Heroes, 4Kids started doing the dub for Sonic X at the time, and apparently that contract also meant that they had their actors doing the voice acting for the games too. So for a while there, we had the 4Kids voice actors, and their 4Kids voice actors. They were really bad, almost unanimously. Really, the only one I feel like ever fit was Jason Griffith. I thought, especially by the end there, Jason Griffith really, like, started putting in a good performance. But otherwise, I wouldn't say any of the 4Kids voice actors were very good at all. especially Tails' voice actor. For some reason, Tails has just never had a good voice actor. That's always such an unfortunate thing for me, because he's my favorite character. So, getting to this game and hearing Kate... I almost accidentally say Kate Mulgrew, who was Captain Janeway in Star Trek Voyager. Kate Higgins. They got Kate Higgins to come in and do the voice for Tails, and I was like, they finally got a good voice actor for Tails at long fucking last. Took them long enough to actually finally get a good voice actor for Tails. Sonic is being voiced now by Roger Craig Smith, and his performance is pretty interesting to me. Like, it's sort of going for a different... It sort of sounds like he's trying to go for, like, an older voice for for Sonic. Like, he doesn't... Jason Griffith has always had a little bit of a unique performance, but they've always seemed to try and go for, like a teenage boy kind of voice for Sonic for some reason, and Roger Craig Smith is playing him being a little bit more mature and has a little bit more of an older cadence and tone to him. These levels are short when you don't have all the wisps. That's the thing, this game's pretty short, so don't worry, this one isn't gonna be 17 parts long. Don't you worry your sweet little head about that. Sonic Unleashed was getting long in the tooth there. However, not every single character in the Sonic cast is in this game, but they did get new voice actors for every single member of the cast. Except for Eggman. Eggman is still being voiced by Mike Pollock. I don't know how to pronounce that shit. Mike Pollock? Which is really fucking funny to me.
I wish I knew what you were saying, little guy. Or gal. Or whatever you are.
Tails is still using the little PDA he had in Sonic Unleashed, by the way.
Oh, I was reconfiguring my handheld into a translator so I can understand this guy. Did you go somewhere?
Didn't you see? I absorbed those aliens and got powered up with, like, some kind of wild energy. And after a few seconds, they'd pop out of me.
I find that hard to believe.
Really, of all the things you guys have done in your sordid 20-year career, that's the thing that you find unbelievable?
Figure out how catching these aliens fits into whatever heinous plan he's hatching.
And wreck that plan, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much how we spend our time.
Oh, goodness. I want to finish talking about the voice actors, though, before I get into anything else. Oh, goodness. Mike Pollock is the only returning voice actor from the 4Kids cast, which is hilarious to me because, I mean, what else are you supposed to do? Mike Pollock is the best Eggman. Like, what are you gonna do? Have some other actors come in and audition for Eggman and be like, yeah, you sound better than Mike Pollock at Eggman? That's just not happening. You're not gonna get someone who's a better Eggman than Mike Pollock. It's just not something that's gonna happen. So that still kind of cracks me up that the veteran Sonic voice actor of the cast here is Mike Pollock. There we go. Everyone else is brand new. They even got a new voice actor for Sassybot, who actually finally has a name in this game, but that is the same robot from Sonic Unleashed, Sassybot. It actually has a name now, and a new paint job and personality, but I think, I'll get into that later, but I think you'll find it's the same robot, but having a new voice changed personality. We'll get into that later. Right now, god damn it. That'll happen sometimes. Be facing the wrong way. This game was a big deal when it first came out for being the first Sonic game with the new non-4Kids voice actors, but it actually isn't the first. No! God damn it. Ah, that's fine. I only got Run Red Ring. This actually isn't the first game with the new voice actors, though, funnily enough. And it's especially not the first new game with the voice actors for all the other characters. Like, the only characters in this game are Sonic, Tails, and Eggman. And the robots. But they did actually, like in bulk, get new voice actors for everyone. Every single Sonic character has a new voice actor. The first game that actually had the new voice actors in them, funnily enough, was Sonic Freeriders. That terrible Kinect game that... well, we're not playing that game, so we're not going to talk about it. But it was the first Sonic game that really did show off the new voice actors in it. So you could actually look up the cutscenes for Sonic Freeriders on YouTube and hear Kirk Thornton, get real names, people, doing Shadow's voice. Oh god. Whew. That was worrying. I'm bad at video games. And here Kirk Thornton, get real names, doing the new voice for Shadow. I knew that would happen. I'm very bad at video games. I don't know if you noticed. And all the others. I don't have a comprehensive list. I'm kind of going off the top of my head, but that was the first game with Roger Craig Smith as Sonic, with Kate Higgins as Tails, etc. I think they have... Who is it? It's like some ridiculously common voice actress. I don't want to say Jennifer Hale, but it's someone like her doing the voice for Omo Chow, which is pretty funny. But no one cared about that game, so I think no one knew that game had the new voice actors in it for a while, because everyone just kind of wanted to pretend that game didn't exist, except for YouTubers who wanted to make cheap LOL Sonic jokes. And boy, did that game provide good fodder for that. But I distinctly remember there was an amusement park ride based on Sonic that had Roger Craig Smith as Sonic doing voice acting for the ride. And I remember tracking down obscure little YouTube videos trying to hear clips of Sonic's new voice. It was kind of a turbulent time when this game was first coming out, because a lot of things were changing for Sonic.
No, I want you to get me a cheeseburger and a shake.
That'll be easier. Cheeseburgers don't run as fast as them little alien varmints.
Idiot, get me more aliens.
This game kind of represents a real change-up in what Sonic was at the time this came out. This really was a big change for the franchise and the character at the time. Oh.
Precious little aliens. I'll harness their
in a lot of ways. For one thing, the Sonic Adventure formula was firmly left behind.
Every time. But this time, really, nothing will stop me. What? Sonic!
Who you calling nothing?
He means since the boss said nothing will stop me, and Sonic here is going to stop him, it's like the boss was calling Sonic nothing.
Great! I thought nobody would get that.
Fine. You're so smart, robot. You take care of this mess. Or at least the big boy. At least I know he won't screw it up. Hasta la bye-bye, suckers!
I like how Orbot can just float around for no reason. He doesn't seem to have any kind of propulsion system.
Guess it's time for me to start stopping.
I get it.
So the first thing I want to talk about was the voice actors, because I am kind of going to be trying to shut up during these cutscenes.
The weak point isn't safe. They're in the middle. Use the platforms to get closer.
Because I do think the voice acting in this game is really good. And Sonic has always had a problem. Okay, this boss fight's about to be over. Give me a second here. There we go. Yep. Oh. Okay, now it's over. Yep, 2 hits. What a difficult boss fight. Nothing can stop the Eggman Empire. When you use the Wisp in a boss fight against them, it kind of immediately obliterates them. You'll see what I mean. These boss fights are super not that hard because of the Wisp weaknesses they tend to have. You can you can obliterate bosses in less than 30 seconds in this game, if you know what you're doing.
Just tighten this last bolt. Oh, there you are. Where'd you run off to?
I did a little shopping, grabbed a bite to eat, and trashed a giant killer robot.
Oh, really? And they've got shopping here, too?
This place has everything. Hey, so how's your translator thingy coming along?
I think it's done. It's in binary code, so only I can read it. Okay, ask away.
Who are you, and what is happening to your people?
Sonic suddenly becomes Italian while talking to aliens.
Okay, he says his name is Talks a lot, and he's from a faraway soda, and where flowers water them with dances.
Yeah, I think your machine still has some bugs.
Yeah, I think I can figure this out, though. Okay, he said his name is Yacker. He's from a race of beings called Wisps.
Wisps?
No, Wisps, with a W.
Yeah, I'll just stick with aliens if that's okay with everybody.
Oh, sure. So anyway, they're either being used for their magical powers by an evil man, or to make underwear to be worn by Salad. I just hear save them, over and over.
When I was running around trashing robots, I saw a map that had a couple of interesting places. I think I'll go check them out, and maybe save some aliens.
Like, literally for the first time in the series, Sonic has had some good, has good voice acting. So I just want people to fucking appreciate it, that's all.
It's actually pretty pretty.
Don't think about it.
If you say so.
Once again, I want to question whether or not Orbot and Cubot have animals inside them or not.
Have you got an arm?
No.
I feel like they do, but maybe
I
not.
guess it can't matter much.
See, as you can see, Orbot's personality is quite different now. He used to be so sassy. Ah, foreshadowing. Anyway. So, that was the first thing I wanted to talk about, but there is so much more to talk about. Because this is the game that I've alluded to many times in the past. Oh, by the way, this game's kind of built around replaying levels, because, as you probably noticed, a lot of those levels are pretty short. That's because you're supposed to be able to unlock the Wisps as you progress through the game, and then replay the old levels, and as you can see, the Wisp you'll be able to use in that level is up in the top of the screen there, and when you have that Wisp with you for that level, you'll be able to access routes in order to get red rings that you weren't able to get previously. I'm not really going to be doing that, but that's why a lot of these levels are so short. You're supposed to kind of replay them a lot. It has kind of a lot of arcade utility to it. Look at fucking Candy Mountain here. I love watching the egg bots in the background doing wacky shit, like riding the teacups. And tripping and slipping around on the chocolate waterfall. This game's just got so much personality to it. I love this game.